That's one of the best podcasts ever. Ever. Top 5 dead or alive. Welcome to Caviar. I'm your host, Tony, in the Ministry of Silly Talks with Graham in the building as usual.
Hello.
After a week off, we're back in the studio, here to deliver more craziness as usual.
That's all we deal in, really.
Yeah, I know.
It's insanity. Yeah, I do. I feel like I don't want to be meta about things, but I feel like taking a week off is not a good idea. I think I just experienced that in the episode we did of 1 Gram Army. It's probably fine. It's always better than I think it is when we finish it. But it felt a little low energy. It felt like I was really having trouble. Getting my feet back under me. Yeah. So I think taking time off is a terrible idea. Yeah. Although in our defense, I do feel like both of us are suffering from terrible allergies right now. Yeah. And that the, having the time off, really rounds you off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I know that we have been doing the series of the inmates in ADX, Colorado. We were going to do who were we going to do?
Larry Hoover.
Larry Hoover. Yeah, we didn't get a chance.
Yeah, some of that is on me because I know I was going to have something prepared. I was gone all week. I did way less work than I was planning on doing. While I was gone, which is generally probably normal for vacation.
Yeah. And we can, like I said, we could do an episode just to get back into the groove of things. We're back in the studio. We're working on a soundboard and everything.
Just old penitentiary treat.
Yeah. See, we're getting back into it. So it's one of those things where, hey, we have lives to live, and until we start making all the money doing podcasting, then
there will be occasionally there will be obstacles, and that's chasing it. You gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, and it's getting warm again, so vacations will be afoot.
Yeah,
and
they happen.
The best thing of that, one of the things that's good about Caviar, I don't necessarily do it, is it is mobile. When I do the solo shows, that's on my laptop. So
and I've done a few. I mean, I've done a few podcasts abroad. I'll probably I'll be in Chicago again for the 4th of July this year. I'll probably try and knock out 1 or 2 while I'm out there. Yeah, so I have more access to live guests and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
I've done some mobile podcasting, not as much as I'd like to. I am. Eventually going to figure out how to podcast from my car because I feel like
I like that too. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's just you'd really have to get it nailed down as far as the audio quality. I think though,
man, the outside audio quality would be an issue because you can, if you're riding along, let's say you're just riding, you're trying to do that, comics riding along in cars or whatever it's called.
Like that,
I don't know how they block out the outside audio.
Yeah, there's so little ambient noise in the way that show is mic'd.
Yeah, it's weird.
You just don't hear. Yeah, you don't hear quite as much of the car running and everything.
Unless it's just unless
Could
I'm
be
not.
That it just fades into the background too.
Maybe it does. Yeah.
And I guess if you were just blithering in your car by yourself and you really got on a roll for the listener, I'm sure it would
I don't
fade
think
to the background anyway.
I don't think it would matter.
No.
Yeah. That's something we could look into.
Absolutely.
Because I know if I could try it with the microphone I have, the Blue Snowball, but
you put that in your car, it's going to pick up everything.
Hear everything, yeah. It'll probably hear some shit that I wouldn't even hear.
Yeah,
so
you won't
go
be
back
able to
and
hear it.
The fuck?
Yeah, I'd call you after you post the podcast and be like, your timing belt is fucked up.
Right. Fucking Chevy's going to call me like, hey, we need you to turn your car in now. We'll take care of it, but we heard the podcast.
Yeah.
Speaking of cars, this is how crazy my life is and why I should probably listen to the universe more, but I had a intake boot it's made out of rubber and it was dry rot and more air was getting into the motor. I didn't notice it until I got the check engine light, and I needed an oil change at the time. And long story short, they gave me the code and I Googled it, and they were telling me that basically the engine was running too pure. It was getting too much air, and I was like, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but okay. Yeah. I tracked it down to the intake boot. I finally this week I got it changed out. I changed it out real quick because the car's out of warranty, and of course, as soon as it's out of warranty, shit just goes. The defecation hits the oscillation, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I changed it out and still had to check engine light. So I was like, well, I'm going to give it a couple days to reset itself, and then if it doesn't, then I'll buy the code reader and then I'll just erase it myself. The day I went to go get the code reader, I went to the store, I bought the code reader, I left the store, I got into the car, I cranked the car up and the light went out by itself.
Oh,
and I was
Jesus
just like,
Christ.
oh, but that's good though. That's just my life. That's how ironic my life is.
It is good that it worked out.
Right.
But still a very frustrating moment.
Yeah.
Now that you've...
And I'm going to keep it because just in case it happens again. But yeah, that's just, we were talking about cars and it made me think about it. I was like, well, damn, it's crazy how something like that will happen. When I thought about it, I was like, man, I should probably just get the code reader myself. Something in the back of my mind was like, you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah. Although from what I understand, it's good to have a code reader.
It is. It definitely
is.
It's
a cool piece of equipment to own, and you can always read codes on other people's shit.
Yeah. Shout out to O'Reilly Auto Parts. They had it, and it was cheap, and they gave me a discount because I'm a veteran. So
well, there you go.
Yeah. If you haven't gotten a veteran's license yet, for anybody who's listening to this, I got one recently in Georgia.
Your driver's license?
Yeah.
It has your veteran status on it?
Yeah, it has a nice flag on it and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, gonna need one of those.
So if you're a veteran, get the veteran's driver's license. It didn't take long to fill out the form. You just had to get your 214, and then they check it. You take all that to the DMV, and then they take a new picture and they send you in Georgia, it's a free license and a free ID card. So I have both of them.
Wow.
And it says veteran at the bottom, and it has a U.S. flag next to the date, your birth date, and the expiration date of it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Well, because I will say to as shop talk for veterans, the veteran's license plate. Now, this idea of getting a veteran's driver's license as your ID is pretty huge. Yeah. It's being a veteran is always a good way to not have interactions with the police, or at least much more pleasant ones than you may be in store for.
Yeah,
it's
huge. Having that shit on the license is
so the
changing.
idea of when I'm like, here's my ID, and then also there's your it's much easier to convince people of your discounts as well.
Yeah,
you know. What I mean?
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that.
But just want to throw that out there real quick. Let's see what else. This week, Game Caviar is active again. I finally figured it out to where I can incorporate my video game playing into Game Caviar again. So I've done it twice, once on YouTube and once on Twitch this past week. I streamed a little, and I'm going to keep doing that. So for those of you who have been fans of the Caviar Empire from the beginning, you will see Game Caviar being more active. It was always active on Facebook, but now more of the videos, and I'll start doing the narration again. I'm trying to work it out so that
you think you maybe do like one big one a week, maybe.
I think so. Yeah. I think I'm going to do that because that will work more. It'd be easier for me to do that, and I could do it live too. Yeah. So I can have the commentary right there, and I can have people come over to the Game Caviar studio if they want to be a part of it. And these are all the things that that I wanted to do at the beginning when I started Game Caviar, but it was a lot of time restraints and monetary restraints, and then the technology wasn't quite there where it is now. So now that a lot of things have changed and all the caviars are growing, the cross promotion, including the 1 Gram Army, the cross promotion between all of this will be bigger and it will become more apparent. So and all these things mesh together very well. I know we talk about video gaming on here and there, but Game Caviar is the main focus will be games, especially the games that I'm playing. I'm playing Vampire right now, which is a pretty cool game. It's something I followed from pre-development till now. It recently became it went on sale for PlayStation, and I picked it up for I don't know how much it was, but it's a pretty cool game. You're a doctor who got bit, and now he's a vampire. He's trying to figure out what happened. I'm still in the beginning stages of it, but it's a good RPG that has a lot of action elements incorporated into it.
Nice. Maybe that's what this week will be good for, just getting our heads back together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I may not even let the last episode of 1 Gram Army count as an episode of the podcast. I'll be like, vacation return blither.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's an episode of the podcast. I didn't get out in front of myself. That's just what we did. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen this before, and I guess I probably will do. We'll do some of this. I'm gonna write myself a note actually for next week to go through this again on the 1 Gram Army podcast. But you ever visited this website?
What is that?
That I have pulled up here. Thispersondoesnotexist.com.
No.
That photograph is not a person. That person is not a real person. This image is generated by an AI that was taught to generate these photorealistic images, and there's even another page on this site that shows how they trained the AI. It's a hefty read when you get to the read, but you can see they show these flow charts where they have like a real sample image, and then they put in the random code there.
Yeah.
And
damn.
It teaches itself whether someone can tell if it's real or fake or not. And then when the human inputs that, this didn't work, this didn't work, this didn't work.
It improves it
it
over
improves
time?
It and changes it.
Shit.
So then you can see here on this part of the webpage, they're showing you the time it took the AI to learn to generate this image and all the fails, along the way.
Right.
Until it gets to the point where it generates an image of a human.
Something like 12 days,
of a human being that doesn't exist. That's not a real person. Like, nothing about that photograph is real.
See, I could tell I could tell that wasn't. That other guy looked real as shit.
Well, you keep going through them here. I mean, and then you can see, too, some of it is the lighting. Like, look at that person. You're telling me, like, if I put that on my website and was like, our web developer.
Nobody's going to question that.
Like, PhD. Like, if someone was like, here's your professor for your class. Like, you wouldn't be like, that's a weird CGI image of a human being. Yeah. But, like, look at that guy.
Yeah.
He's going to
that guy looks
defend you in court.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that looks like a human child.
Right.
Yeah, these are really insane. Yeah, so if your listeners are looking for a really fun thing to do, I may just spend a good deal of time on my next episode of 1 Gram Army talking about this person does not exist. But it is an insane website.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. I need to go on that website myself. Thispersondoesn't.com. If you're listening to this, please check that one out. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, isn't it neat? I mean, and that's the crazy thing about it, too, is it's entirely artificial intelligence spits out these images of.
I wonder what they use that for.
People who don't exist. Well, some of it's like some of the research into deep fakes and stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
but the other thing, too, though, that it's doing is it's teaching the computer. It's teaching the computer discrimination. Like of what is a human's face and what isn't for facial recognition software.
Yeah.
So you're sort of just doing it like algebraically, like you're just doing the math backwards this way by having the computer generate the image of a person's face.
I saw something online, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but they said that the U.S. had delayed facial recognition technology until they delayed it worldwide until they set up enough servers so that all facial recognition technology goes through U.S.-based servers.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
and this is the place to talk about conspiracies. Since episode 1,
it's always
and that was something that I came across, and I was like, you know what? we're going to talk about that. And yes, facial recognition. It said facial recognition was delayed by the U.S. government until all the faces that get scanned can go through U.S.-based servers. That's the conspiracy. Don't know whether it's true or not. And I'm pretty sure the United States government isn't going to come out and be like, yeah, well, whatever.
I'm sure we did that. Yeah.
But even if they did, what would we do? Come on. I mean, there would be some sort of UN briefings or maybe a UN session where we would send our UN representative or somebody that it's part of the government. They would go testify, and then there would be news stories all over the place. My thing is, in 2 weeks, whatever's going on right now will not be important, so to speak, as far as news and headlines.
Yeah.
It might be less than that now because you see that they just arrested, what's his name, Julian Assange for WikiLeaks.
Yeah, they did finally get to him.
Yeah, and then when that happened, that was like a week ago. So now maybe the timeline is going down to 1 week. But it all depends on what's being pushed by the mainstream media.
Exactly.
So,
well, and it's the deal with Julian Assange too has always been so messy because it's like
people don't understand.
The media outlets have a direct this. It's not even like tinfoil hat shit when you're saying that like their underwriters. A lot of them have a immediate need financially to not have what this man says and does be condoned.
Yeah.
Because he's, releasing information about everybody.
Yeah.
Like he was releasing information about everybody's secrets.
He was.
And so all political parties, all nations, all major multinational conglomerate corporations, all of these people had a reason to ensure that we didn't know exactly what was going on there.
Yeah, it also goes to say that a lot of people online, they went, and by online I mean Twitter.
Yeah,
that's
where you hear from the
it's
online
like the internet's
folks.
water cooler right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But they were mad that he got arrested because they said it was an attack on free speech. It wasn't necessarily an attack on free speech because what he did was free speech. And and a lot of times it needed to be done.
Yeah.
The way in which he went about getting that information was the issue. That was where a lot of the illegal stuff happened.
Right.
So when you look at how Snowden, how he was working with Julian Assange, and then people said that he had every right to do that. No, he didn't have every right to do that because even if you work for the government, there is a system set up where if you're a whistleblower and you have a legit reason to make a report something illegal or something that was damaging or something that's just not right, it doesn't matter what it is, you are protected by the Whistleblower Act or the laws that prevent you from being prosecuted. But he didn't do that. He said that he went to his chain of command, but which is fine. If they didn't pay attention to it, then that's when you take it to the next level. But instead, he started working with Julian Assange, and he illegally transmitted, top secret files to Julian Assange, and then he was sharing information. When you do that, that is where the crime comes in.
Right. Because I was gonna say, like, morally, I still think what he did was the right thing.
No, he did.
I think in his situation, it would be pretty rich to expect him to actually believe that using the whistleblower system would have done it with like that information would ever saw the light of day.
Right. But that's the thing, that even if you don't believe in it, you still have to. You're still obligated to use it.
Well, and also that, but that's where that's where you cash out. That's where you've committed treason, essentially.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Even if it was for a good cause, you are
screwed.
now fucked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And if you're someone like Julian Assange and look at the people you've played with, like they were gonna get him eventually. eventually.
Yeah, everybody knew
Yeah.
that. Everybody with half a brain cell knew that, yeah, they were going to come get him. And the same thing is going to happen to Snowden. He's not going to stay on the run forever.
Yeah,
If
well,
you don't think that the government knows exactly where he's at.
He's in Russia. They
Right,
may mail him back to us
right.
in a box one day or something.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
yeah, that guy
he's
lives under Putin's desk.
well.
God knows what Putin's made that man do. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
he's
saying?
not-
He's
but
made
see,
him say a bunch of crazy shit for
but
sure.
see, at least, I'll say this, I don't agree with turning my back on the country, but at least he had a reason, whereas Robert Hassan, the dude that we
No.
talked about, that
No.
motherfucker just woke up one day and was like, I'm going to go work with the Russians.
Those two
because-
things are not alike
No,
in
they're not.
any way.
No.
Eric
No.
Eric Snowden essentially sacrificed himself to, it jumped off a building with a giant banner that
Yeah.
was like, they're fucking spying on you. Like,
Yeah.
And here's the proof. Like, you're not crazy. They really are. Just look like they will look through the camera on your phone and
Yeah,
to
no, they do.
entertain
Yeah,
themselves.
and they will. And they
You know what
will.
I mean, and they have the access to it, and they're collecting all this data. And except for the problem was nobody gave a shit.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing, because in America, if it doesn't directly affect you,
Right.
it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Even if it should be that big of a deal, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
And then for something like that, where you can just cover up your webcam or just let them look. Fuck it. I don't give a shit if you want to beat off in front of your camera. If the FBI is looking at you, well, that's on them.
That's
They're
on
going to
you,
just
buddy.
watch you beating off in front of your camera.
Yeah, no, God,
I mean, shit.
God, I hope. Yeah.
If anything, it would make me put on a show even more, just
Yeah.
in case.
I hope you're being paid very handsomely for spying
right,
on me, buddy.
right. Like,
it's
like, what would you get out of that?
it's
Like,
mostly
it's crazy.
gross. Yeah, it's mostly
It's
gross.
crazy,
Yeah.
and a lot of times.
Well, but that's the thing too, though, is that it's embedded in our technology. Like it's embedded it's embedded in our daily lives. It's inescapable
Yeah.
at this point. The vectors from which they collect all this data
Yeah.
are virtually inescapable. So Eric Snowden telling us all this, some people got real upset, but it's not like we all went out and deleted our Facebook accounts.
No.
Or through our, went and got flip phones.
All
and
right.
fucking,
Yeah. No. Nobody left society and went into the
reading
woods.
the newspaper again.
Right. It's not. We didn't just take it back to
Because that would have
1995.
been the only solution. And
that's it.
Maybe he thought that there was a chance that was how Americans would take the news. But
Yeah.
turns out nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody gave a fuck.
They
And
gave
you
a
could
fuck.
have, and when he had told you,
And
you
now
could
the
have
government's
lived in the woods.
They'll put it in the news. They're like, we're quadrupling the size of our servers now to collect your data. And we're like, Matt, well,
All right,
we already
whatever,
know about that.
whatever.
Yeah.
Go live in the woods. You know who else lives in the woods? People that think that the government are controlling birds and that birds are conspiracy.
Yep.
They're the same people that take you to the side and be like, when the government shut down, we didn't see any birds. Newsflash, we still saw birds.
Yeah.
Lots
there
of
were
birds.
Definitely still birds.
Every day. They were just flying
all
around.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just flying around.
Now those
chirping
people believe the government
because
has,
they're animals.
Yeah, because they're out there just doing that thing. Yeah. Well, and the government makes pollen too, which is an interesting new conspiracy. It came out in the last few years.
Of course.
I think it was, like 2 years ago, they were
Yeah.
decided that they had decided that the government was putting something in the pollen.
Yeah.
Not just that there was more
These
pollen.
same people that chemtrails are spreading the gay and that rainbows and that water create a water mist. Is that the government put the gay in the water?
That's how it happens
let's
to
see,
people.
What else? What is the other one? I don't know, man. You just pick out any zany pro-government. Oh yeah, this is the one where they tested the rocket, the space rocket engines. They would do a test fire. There was a video going around on the internet that showed that when they did the test fire of the engine, it let out a huge exhaust smoke, and as usual, and that went up in the
a rocket.
Yeah, it went up in the atmosphere, and then that turned into a rain cloud, and then people were like, "See that? The government controls the weather."
Oh,
They control the weather, and I know they control the weather. You know, you got to understand. You look at look at the data from people who get killed by weather, just weather.
Yeah.
And then no matter whether it's blizzard, extreme hot, extreme cold, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods. If the government was really controlling the weather, it would never make the news.
Yeah.
It would be a nice, warm, the temperature would never really change, and we'd be good. We would also not have to worry about this global warming because we would just change that.
Right, and if we were controlling the weather globally,
Yeah.
when you wanted to get rid of Saddam Hussein, you could have just, made a lightning storm over his house and 6 tornadoes that just converged and then whoop, they disposed.
Yeah. So it's like, what are you even talking about?
So what, do they just control the weather for fun? Like,
right. Does it some way, is there like a super secret United States government weather control laboratory?
Flooded Houston for what?
Why did they flood New Orleans too?
So it would cost them shitloads of money?
Right.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Well, because all these conspiracies, the actual thing never plays out. The government,
no, it doesn't.
The troops never actually come marching down the street.
No.
They don't ever actually come collect your guns.
No.
They don't ever, they don't ever actually kill all of X group of people in a city. You know what I mean? Like they don't ever sterilize the population.
They don't. And if the majority of people get this, but with Pod Caviar being a podcast built on the backs of conspiracies, so to speak, I have to look at all these things, and it's like, even if it's bullshit, let me just look into it. Maybe there's something in there to grab.
There is,
a lot of times there are coincidences, there are abnormalities, there are facts that you can extrapolate from these conspiracies, but then you quickly see where it goes from that, the probable, or something like that, to absolute absurdity.
To where it just to what amounts as wild speculation. Just what? Like based on nothing. Just absolute wild.
And they sound good. A lot of them sound amazing. Very interesting.
Fun.
Especially when you get into aliens and shit like that, because, I mean, it's true. I mean, it could be. I said it on Twitter the other day. All these smart people might be aliens, and they just sitting here to not only guide us, but to hold us back when they don't want us to go forward too fast, because humans are stupid in general. And we've all done dumb things just because.
And if there was some sort of federation of planets out there, they might be like, well, we need some of you to go undercover to just make sure they stay right there. Like,
we need them to stay right there.
Yeah, we don't need them out here.
Yeah, especially when we got nuclear, and then they're like, oh, wait, hold on now. Wait a minute. There you have that. So... And it's like I said before.
I've met a lot of people. If I was the super intelligent race, I wouldn't be coming to get us.
Yeah.
No. It's like come add us to the mix. Yeah,
like what are we gonna do? Yeah.
Just
I think we gotta extend to a level to where we're like, technology-wise, we can join that, because right now it doesn't matter if there was a federation of planets and they have all this fly shit, warp speed and all that. If they bring us there, we'd be the fucking hillbillies of that federation. And all of us would be,
and we would fuck it up.
Oh yeah, we would definitely fuck it. We would fuck. I would fuck it.
Oh,
and then we talked about this before.
Yeah, no, we've been down this road.
Humanity in general would fuck it up. So. I'm watching the Cubs game right now.
Yeah, so I just got it on the little screen in here. I try to stay focused, but this feels like a very loose weekend of podcasting.
Yeah, it is.
You're at 27 minutes.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad.
I don't think we have anything else. Oh, you know what? I wanted to let's go to 40 minutes.
Okay.
When it goes to 40 minutes, then we'll wrap it up. But let's go. If you could log on to Shirt Caviar and then pick a random shirt or design, and then I'll tell the story behind it, because I always say that these designs have stories behind them, and some of them are more than.
Well, I have some that I
others.
have curiosity about anyway.
Right,
so let me look here real quick, because there's a couple of these. I like whack ass shirts though.
Yeah, that's for people who decide to.
It's $11.
yeah, and they every time somebody will out of nowhere just state their opinion, and I'm like, I'm not asking you whether you think it's good or not. It's just like, here it is. If you want it, this is where you can get it from. So I take the criticism. I laugh at it. It's funny to me, but. People always on the internet. People always want to be heard, and you got to take it in stride. And that's just how it is. And I've spoken about it before in the past episode. Where you take
I
your
haven't
criticism
seen this one yet. The out calls only.
Yeah, that's part of the line of penguins.
I like that one.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that shit. I like penguins, man. Penguins are awesome. Penguins are going to help us defeat the dolphins. I've said this before. I just said it on the One Gram Army, the previous episode that we just did. It's going to happen. And we talk about dolphins a lot. Graham has the Time's Up dolphin shirt that you can find on Shirt Caviar.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
Yeah,
crazy story.
We don't fuck with dolphins.
No, we don't.
Is the moral of that
we
story.
Don't. Yeah.
As
to wrap that shit up perfectly.
As podcasters, we have decided that we don't have time for this shit.
No.
Fucking dolphins out here raping people. Everybody thinks they're fucking cute. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yep.
You fucking go be alone with a dolphin for a little while. See what you think.
See what happens.
You see those black eyes
see what happens.
looking you up and down.
Looking through your soul.
Yep.
It's just, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We've warned you. You were warned. When it
are,
happens, you were warned.
You found out. Hold on. As a matter of fact, can you carry this for 2 seconds? I'm
Yeah.
gonna grab a beer real quick.
All
I'll
right.
be right back.
Can you grab me another one too?
Yep.
Yeah. He pulled up the All Gods Die shirt. It's part of the 2019 collection. So when he gets back, I'll talk about that. This is also available as a T-shirt form. And well, it's T-shirt, and I also made it for a canvas print. So if you want to hang it up in your house, wherever you want to hang it at, you can get that. It's $75 for the canvas print. Appreciate it. And I like the design. It's something that I thought of and that I like to really, I believe in this because people, it's okay to believe in a God. Mm-hmm. If you want to believe in a God, whatever God you want to believe in, that's fine. I am a strict believer of religious freedom. But I've seen many gods, so to speak, get torn down. And this is the great dance of religious people and anti-religious people, to where as humans we are essentially the same. Mm-hmm. If one person believes in a God and the other person doesn't believe in a God, what happens next? Somebody's going to be right and somebody's going to be wrong.
Right.
So,
but also the parameters of both of your lives are exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
You need to drink water and eat food to live.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be at a certain temperature. And you need to get this much sleep. And you need to have, you have this much expenditure. You need to be making this much money. And like that belief is relatively insignificant. If I could also, I mean, and I'm not sure if this is where you're headed with this either. When I saw this shirt, it made me think about the fact that like people who do believe in a god or gods or whatever they've been taught should also understand that over the existence of humanity, many gods have come and gone, even ones we don't know anything about.
And that was part of it.
Where, you know, few thousand years ago, someone believed just as fervently that you do, that, you know, Mithras was the son of the larger god and came and, you know, and with that, then they were willing to, you know, do whatever in pursuit of that belief.
And that was definitely part of it. It was that.
Some time passes, and now,
now they just talk about it in the history books.
It was a thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's what the All Gods Die thing is.
Yeah, all of that is encompassed into it. Even people that get put on a pedestal, even a lot of these big mega church preachers, and that was part of the final instructions, is that you believe in these people, and then in the end they end up being scam artists or pedophiles, or they end up doing a lot of evil things. So that's why I added the mask to it, because the mask wasn't part of that original painting. And I flipped it upside down to make it seem like instead of ascending into heaven, you're falling down, because all gods die, and that's how that came about. And I like that shirt.
Yeah, you should be proud of that design. That's
a
super dope one.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Let's see.
You do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right. first 48 one kind of speaks for itself.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. The Orioles lost another game. Good job, Orioles. Stressful being a fan of the Baltimore Orioles.
I can imagine, man. It's been tough. I do like the red shirt Caviar snapback.
Fuck yeah. I love that one. Of course, we got the one Gram Army shirts are available in the 2019 collection.
Those are there. I'm assuming the America First shirts is an attempt to diversify the audience.
Yeah, he got to, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think you should too. Why not?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Bring everybody together.
Why not?
You got the
need to go to a different collection here, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, a lot of the. Well, here, let's check out some of the Black Excellence collection.
Yeah, I had to get rid of a lot of that stuff because of the people that print the shirts. They were having problems with they were going back. We were going back and forth about the whether it was good to use or whether it was not. And I was like, well, my sources are telling me that the images that I used were good to go, but they didn't want to print them. So if there was one, if you go to the censored collection, censorship right there. And then you go click on the one that says celebrating Black excellence is illegal. That one right there. That's what started the whole thing. See, I had that picture, which was Muhammad Ali punching a guy out. Yeah. And from what I was told, it was good to use, but the company that I used that prints the shirts, they didn't want to print it.
So they said it wasn't this.
Yeah, so I had to block it out essentially, so where you couldn't tell who was doing what. And then I put celebrating Black excellence is illegal, and I had the Kente pattern on the left arm with the red cross over it, the slash out. And then I took the shirt Caviar patch and I flipped it upside downwards as a form of showing distress and protest. And that's how I felt, because I didn't have a problem with any other image that I put on that site, but as soon as I had a whole Black History Month section, then all of a sudden now you got issues with it.
Just because I'm a horrible asshole that wants to get this shirt. Be like,
I would get it, man. Because as soon as I designed it, I fucking I ordered one, and I was like, yeah, print that shit out and send it to me. And they did. I mean, yeah.
Although this shirt, it could be a mess for me wearing it, because people might not know.
It would be hard for you to explain.
If someone came up and asked me which side of the fence I was on, I'd be like, well, which one pisses you off more? It's a T-shirt, man. How could I make you as mad as possible?
But as I did months when I made the whole censorship line of shirts, the original narrative was censorship will be the death of art. And then what happened? Exactly what happened. They didn't have a problem with it. And they didn't have a problem with it when I uploaded the pic to the site. They didn't have a problem with it when I designed the shirt and put it on my site for sale. They had a problem with it when somebody bought the shirt and then it was time to really distribute it to the masses.
And to actually print
one. And then it falls back into censorship will be the death of art. I know my art will get a reaction out of people, and that's not necessarily why I make it. I make it because I love it, but it's art. It's supposed to light a fire and start a conversation. That is art. That is
what else it is?
The heart.
That's an old penitentiary trick.
So all this is art. The podcast is art. The shirts are art. The designs, music is art. You're supposed to be riled up. You're supposed to look at something and be like, "Oh shit, what?" And then it's supposed to get your attention. And that's why I made the censorship will be the death of art. And then
the universe was like, real life is way funnier than what you can write.
But yeah, man, that's. And we should do this. I think we're going to do this more often to where I go through and I go and discuss these designs, and then we have we'll talk about it, go back and forth.
Yeah, you'll have to shoot a video podcast at some point.
Yeah, we got
for your listeners, so you can put the designs up and scroll them down. But But I do think you're at your time if you'd like
All
to.
right. Yeah. Like I said, Game Caviar is active again. Shirt Caviar is active as usual. Check out shirtcaviar.com. It is a women's boutique surrounded by an art museum. There are new products added every week, every day almost, and the prices are amazing. So check it out. The price is as low as $4 now for some shorts.
A lot of options on there.
Yeah, it's a lot of options. So check that out. Check out the 1 Gram Army. We just did an episode. If we do an episode, I'm on Graham's podcast and he's on mine.
Yeah,
we
you haven't figured that out by now. What the fuck?
Right?
People?
Yeah, we stay in the Ministry of Silly Talks while the new Caviar City studio is being pursued, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So
it's many things in planning.
Yeah, we got a lot of things coming out this summer. The weather's getting better, so we're going to start shooting. We're going to do a documentary. We're going to start doing some Caviar City things.
Live podcasts.
Yeah, live podcasts,
podcasts,
all that shit,
yep.
man. Yeah. So listen, subscribe to Pod Caviar, subscribe to 1 Gram Army, subscribe to Game Caviar, subscribe to Shirt Caviar and Pod Caviar on 1 Gram Army on Facebook, Instagram, there's Twitters, we have YouTube channels, we have all this shit out there for you to get on board with us.
Miss it.
Yeah, pretty soon we're going to be kicking in doors, and we're going to. You can't look.
Yeah,
you can only avoid us for so long.
I'm just going to do a podcast from your bedroom.
Right.
You're just going to
at
wake
that
up
point,
and we're in
yeah,
here
you're
doing
just
a
going to wake up
podcast.
and we're going to be like, we're just going to be there.
Yeah, and you know what would have been easier? Fucking subscribing, buddy.
Right. Yeah.
Don't
like
make us podcast in your living
we're
room.
talking to you like it's like we're being nice, like it's a nicety for us to do this. But no.
Keeps us out of your shit.
Yeah, because if you don't come to us and just subscribe willingly, we're going to fucking come after you, and then you will have to subscribe. It's one of those things where either you bend at the knee or we're going to break your knees. Like either way, it's one of those.
Yeah. These podcasts are coming.
Right.
Just go to them.
Yeah. So, a lot of projects coming. This has been a great episode. We're getting back into the groove. I feel like what time is it now?
That's too late. I can't go back.
Damn.
And do it again.
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's all right.
I may just use this as mine.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, that's fine. But anyway, subscribe. Thank you for listening to the people who have already subscribed. You guys are awesome.
Yep.
And we will see you next week. That's Graham. I'm Tony. We're out.